I'm Bosun Amafaye, and this is your Frontier Opening Pair for today, Wednesday, the 17th of July. Just a rundown through the markets. The Nigerian stock market, the NGX, came back through the 100,000 psychological reading on Tuesday, adding 0.1% after Monday's strong rally, where the market added about 160 billion naira in local currencies. Yesterday, the market added further notches to that's taking the all-share index for the Nigerian exchange to 33.84% since the start of the year 2024. The BRVM went up 1.01%, a very big roaring one. Tuesday, in Côte d'Ivoire, the 234.94 for the composite index for the 8 French-speaking West African countries that put their stocks, banking, telecom, everything else in the BRVM in Côte d'Ivoire. They had the EGX. The Egyptian stock market started Monday slightly positive, then came back Tuesday in the red, 0.44%. That's the EGX 30. We've got the Nairobi stock market up just roughly 0.1%, a very soft patch. Tuesday, 110.23, while the GSE fell very sharply, 1.25%. At 81,124. The rally that we saw on the back of the recent elections and the formation of a new unity government seem to be dissipating in South Africa. Then, of course, you've got Signia CEO Magda speaking a few days ago that South Africa is no longer relevant, is becoming relevant in global investment conversations. That's quite unfortunate for Africa's most advanced economy and, of course, the most advanced financial markets. Let's just take that down and move on to see the big headlines across East Africa. That's where we always start with. You've got a whole lot to cover on the continent, but let's start with East Africa, where the sun rises. Debt is hindering Africa's investment in sustainable development goals. That's according to UNECA's Claver Gatete, speaking at a press briefing at the United Nations, saying Africa's $196 billion debt service payments with total headline debt of $1.1 trillion is a major hindrance to the continent's putting needed funding and support behind the Sustainable Development Goals. So the African Union is working with UNECA, which is the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, to float a new 10-year plan to get Africa up and running around the SDG parameters. In the meantime, Ethiopia Central Bank and the Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates have put pen to paper to swap deal, a currency swap deal for their payments. They also have an MOU that sets the operationalities of this new relationship between Ethiopia and the UAE. Ethiopia has been reforming in recent years. The latest is around its financial markets and a new monetary policy framework by the National Bank of Ethiopia. Safaricom, with headquarters in Kenya, earned about 40 billion shillings from reverse calls and airtime loans from customers within that region, while counties in Kenya are facing 20 billion shillings budget cuts because President Ruto is declining allocation bill in the new fiscal policy adjustments that the government is doing in the wake of the protests that created the Finance Act of 2024. And finally, within that region, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia reporting full year 2023 pre-tax profit up 24%, breaching about 25.6 billion birr. That's local currency. Thank you, everyone. Let's step into West Africa. And of course, you've got a whole lot to digest because Nigeria yesterday unveiled its first shipment under the new AfCFTA rules. The AfCFTA Secretary General Wamkelemene was in Apapa Port, Lagos on Tuesday with the Secretary to the Nigerian government and a few other top officials from within the private sector to flag off new trade deal that Nigeria is onboarding. Congratulations as the country joins others. In the meantime, Africa's debt up 192%. That's according to UNECA between 2010 and 2022. And the global growth forecast for 2024 and 2025 has been retained. According to the IMF latest World Economic Outlook for the month of July, those forecasts projected back in April remain the same, but there are variations across jurisdictions like in the US, in Europe. Nigeria was cut back slightly to 3.1% from the projection back in April. So let's go like the AfDB. Sovereign portfolio retains its number one position on the 2024 AIDS Transparency Index. Congratulations to the DFI. And Cal Bank of Ghana reporting a strong first half growth of 130.1%. The earnings season is now underway. Okay, let's see what's grabbing the headlines this Wednesday from Southern Africa, which is South Africa making a very big move around its nuclear energy plant. But outside the energy space, we'll touch more on that. Let's get on to Mozambique, where the former finance minister is facing charges or has faced charges in New York over the bribery scandal, what's called the tuna bond, $2 billion. The former finance minister allegedly collected bribes, kickbacks, and all of that, and is now facing the case. It's taken a couple of years, but it's not going anywhere yet. Now, the coast is cleared for him to stand trial in New York. And gold near a record high yesterday, $2,471 an ounce, because folks are betting that the U.S. Fed will cut interest rates at least by September, based on the recent pronouncements and speeches and what have you, body language, whatever, read my lips, from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. The latest of his public speaking on interest rates, inflation and all that was at the London Economic Club of Washington just on Monday. Then you've heard the ZiG. The Zimbabwean new currency is steady at 13.75 against the dollar. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is stockpiling gold to support the new currency that's seen its first 100 days remaining stable. It's a new horizon. In the meantime, the Saka Stock Exchange says it's delisting Invest Trust Bank from the trading platform, while Econet of Zimbabwe posted a big jump in data usage as well as a surge in the customer growth of its mobile money. That's what they call Momo. And finally, still in Zimbabwe, the NMB Bank has secured $10 million to support loans to farmers within the food basket economy of Southern Africa. That's your briefing there. You've been briefed. Let's move on and finish off North Africa just to wrap it up there. Egypt is looking to invest $1.2 billion in oil and gas wells. It's a whole lot of hydrocarbon investment projects still popping up across the continent. Liberia being one of the countries where that's happening. Egypt's also stepping deep into that. Agric Bank of Egypt loan portfolio was around 75.27 billion local currency Egyptian pounds in the month of June, while Telecom of Egypt has introduced 5G network in major cities across the country. A nice one there, folks. And Morocco is ranking third as the largest fertilizer exporter to Brazil in South America. And those are your headlines. Keep your eye out today for the International Energy Summit taking place in Accra, Ghana. We'll have that in focus on Frontier Opening Bell, as well as other stories grabbing the headlines. Have a great day, everyone. I intend to have one as well. I am boosting them off, and I'll see you soon.